get that bass I'm talking about. I can get that bass.
On and on with the fishing.
Whatever, man. I want a bass.
Pro fisherman over here now.
I learned this new technique, man. I'm gonna get it. You got this worm. It's weedless. It's gonna be no interference, and then we're gonna crack some beers.
Do you say the worm is weedless?
Yeah, you take the hook. You take the hook, and then you hook it back into it, and it goes through the water weedless. But when the fish jumps on it, the hook and it grabs. It's weedless.
All right.
People that like fishing will get it.
Sure.
What are you up to?
Not too much, got a date with the wife, spent some time with little guy, working my scripts or screenplay things, whatever, it's
what?
Shaping up to be all right.
What?
What?
Your screenplays.
Yeah.
What's this?
What is this?
Is this a hobby? Like what do you got going on?
I've been writing stuff forever. You don't know this?
I've known you for 16 years. You've never told me that you write scripts. What the frig's going on?
I'm pretty sure I have.
What are you hiding?
I mean, look, I've got some good stuff written, but I don't know. I don't really show it to people or whatever because...
you got confidence issues.
Whatever.
Okay. What do you got, man? Hit me up. It's me. We're bros.
I mean, some decent stories and layouts. Some of them I have a whole universe figured out for.
Oh, so you're deep into this.
I guess when I have time.
Okay, well, hit me. What do you got?
Okay, well, one that I've been working on for a while. It's it takes place in space.
Okay, a little sci-fi.
Yeah. Grew up with that kind of stuff. It's kind of endless possibilities, right? So it's kind of traveling the universe. There's spaceships. There's different kind of planets and people and races of different creatures and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's now on Earth we have certain countries or whatever, they're under kind of an empire or a communist rule. So in this, the universe or the galaxy, kind of back and forth on that part, but the universe, the galaxy is all under this kind of empire rule. This guy that wants to do all the things his way, classic kind of stuff, right? And then, but there's certain people that are kind of almost like a superhero way where they kind of make use of space where gravity doesn't matter as much and they can kind of move stuff around, and it's kind of hard to explain without really showing you the script, but it's pretty unique.
The Empire?
What?
They rebel against the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mitch, that's Star Wars. You've just written Star Wars. Maybe you've done this subconsciously, but yeah, do the math. Dude, you just wrote Star Wars.
Well, no, it's not Star Wars because
you said they move stuff too.
Yeah, well,
it's Star Wars.
I mean, maybe it's Star Wars.
Okay, what else you got?
I put a lot of time into that one.
9 episodes?
What else? Okay, this other one, this isn't so big and out there. It's not sci-fi.
Okay, hit me.
There's this guy who for a long time he was a secret agent and had a lot of special skills and different things, and then his daughter takes a trip overseas with her friend and she gets kidnapped, right? And just as she's getting taken away, she's talking to her dad, and then her phone is still on and the kidnappers find it and her dad's on the phone and he just says, hey, let my daughter go or I'm going to find you, right? And
let me guess. He flies over, beats up all the baddies, makes a trail of blood, and finally finds her on a boat. trying to be sold.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be so much blood or whatever, but
It's Taken. You just written Taken. You've done it again. Do you have any original work?
well, I mean, I was thinking that Liam Neeson would be like a shoo-in for the role, but I guess it's kind of. I figured it'd be up his alley.
I bet it would. You have any original work to speak of?
This one for sure. Okay, there hasn't been a movie like this, so
I'm excited. Let's go.
So we have our lives, and sometimes we wonder what's going on in other people's lives, or we watch cartoons and stuff, and animals come to life and talk and whatever. Yeah. And when you're a kid, right, you're playing with your toys and you're making them talk and do this and that, and they have their whole little world or whatever. So in this movie, not in a freaky way, right? Like it would be for kids and stuff too. It could be animated. The toys come to life and they have like their own little community and they talk and whatever, and it's this like weird mix of toys that have like personality and maybe they get lost, they get like broken or whatever, but in the life of a toy, right?
And it'd be a story. It'd be a toy story. I gotta go, man. You're too much. Keep working on your original stuff.
Okay, so welcome to the Broken Port podcast. I'm pretty sure last week I just called it the Broken Podcast. And it kind of is, but anyway, maybe we'll cut to that.
We're piecing it together.
We're pretty low budget right now, so I don't know if we have room for cuts into old footage. But anyways,
please show us some love.
I'm Mitch. This is Josh. We got a great connection last week with Zenkai Goose. I'd like to shout him out again.
Yo, he commented on our video, man.
I think it was our first comment ever.
Yeah.
What a first comment. Fantastic.
That's a milestone.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for taking the time, shouting us out there. That's awesome. This week has been off to a rough start as far as the podcast goes.
So we're an hour and a half till we wanted to start recording.
Yeah, pretty much.
And why is that, Mitch?
Well, apparently Josh doesn't know how to work a camera most of the time.
Listen. Everything's fine. I need to get a different camera because this isn't working out. So I have this Anchor camera. I was like, okay, whatever. We're going to start a pod. I can't blow all the dough on a $1,800 camera. So anyway, just pick this up. It says 2K resolution. That'll do for now. But it keeps timing out and we have to like edit around it. And
last week there were several parts where Josh was just gone. And we thought, maybe it'll be in the recorded part because the platform says, it'll look like it's lower quality, but it saves a good version. No, it was just gone. Nothing there. So I don't know.
I think the programming behind it is like, well, I guess that guy is gone, so better shut off this audio too.
Yeah.
Well, I was like full on talking, and I was like, got to reset my camera, thinking it was just a blank screen. Whatever, we're working out the kinks. No, just cuts me off.
Yeah,
and you could see
the
Mitch
camera cut out
before the edit. You could see Mitch like nodding his head. Yeah, great point. Not in the pod. So, what do you have for a camera?
If the camera cuts out and then the audio keeps going, it's fine because they could just cut to my camera. But no, we're just going to cut the audio too because, hey, we can't see this guy. Why listen to him, right?
Because screw him. That's why.
Yeah, forget him. Forget this guy and his stupid camera.
So what are you rocking for a camera?
So I'm just using my iPhone, actually. I got I don't know if it's pronounced Epic Cam or Epoch Cam. I feel like it's not Epoch Cam, but it's through Elgato. So download the pro version on my phone, and then you get the Elgato Camera Hub app on your computer. And together that works, and you can just run your iPhone like a webcam.
And how does it work for you?
Works perfectly. It's what I've used
so perfectly that you told me to get on this, right?
Yeah, that's what we tried today.
And booted it up, paid the $10, downloaded the program on the PC, booted it up, and just paused phase. Just like completely paused. It's like, okay,
zero
just
streaming.
I'll unplug it. Well, there was an image. I'll give it that. It wasn't video, but it was an image. And then plug it back in, and it's just gone. Just with yell like the logo, just
Yeah,
gone.
just totally gone.
Tried a different cord, not it. Tried a different port, not it. Tried complete restart, wasn't it. So apparently, you know how to like commit witchcraft or something because I can't make that work.
Well, one day, hopefully next week, we will get Josh's camera figured out. So far, so good though. It hasn't cut out yet.
Yeah, if it cuts out, we'll just have to like retake.
Yeah, it'll just be a pause. All of a sudden, I'll just kind of and we'll carry on. Won't even cut it. We'll just leave it, and we'll just me sitting there just dead air. Just
Otherwise, how you doing this week there, Mitch?
yeah, doing pretty good. Busy week. I was actually out for anybody that's watching, which is probably nobody. But anyways, I was out Josh's way this week. We spent the weekend out in Ottawa, hanging out, doing a few things. We wanted to record like an in-person podcast or an in-person, even just kind of shorter video, but we didn't have having time for that. Didn't
No
work out.
time.
But at some point, we'll get some more stuff like that done, and hopefully, it can add a little bit of flavor to the channel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm hoping maybe we could do some like shopping sprees, or like at the very least, we'll like go to Canada Computers and be like, okay, I have Mitch's credit card, he has mine. We both have to spend $50 to upgrade their setup, and it's just like a Top Gear kind of like inconvenient gift.
Yeah, we've got a few ideas cooking. You know, especially like with PC parts and stuff like that. We might do something like that with some kind of random upgrade, or maybe like an inconvenient downgrade that we might have to work with for a little bit. You know, like
you're going down to DDR3.
just breaking slots and
DDR3, but 8 gigs, right? 4 dual stick.
and then we might be able to get some content out of putting together a system for a member of Josh's family for some Minecraft playing soon. That could be a good time. We'll see if we can make something like that work, but that'll be a lot of fun. Whether we get content out of it or not, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm trying to teach her the old keyboard and mouse. She gets frustrated at times. From time to time, I get frustrated with keyboard and mouse, but it is once you get it, it is the finer way to control things.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, she'll get there too. She's gonna figure it out. It's gonna be good.
Well, that's enough banter. What are we up to now?
So before we get to anything else, if you've gotten this far into the video, if you could like, comment, subscribe, even if you comment and just say hey, or if you comment and say why don't you guys just quit now, whatever you want. Engage with the video, helps us out. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because hey, who doesn't like extra notifications on their phone? I hate those, but anyway, help us out.
Yeah.
For now, we're going to get into our story section of the video. We're going to start off with Thunderbolt 5.
Yeah.
I feel like Thunderbolt 4 just came out. So
I have not
5.
taken advantage of any of these.
Thunderbolt
Apparently
5.
it's USB-C, but HDMI, and I don't know how.
So Thunderbolt 4 was a big jump in the USB kind of life. Brought in a lot bigger speeds. Even now with Thunderbolt 4, we're getting good, similar resolution and frame rates to DisplayPort, which was really good. If more things can use a similar port, that helps because it's less cables you have to buy, it's less e-waste, and it improves quality overall.
It's sometimes like with various devices, like laptops are huge on this. Obviously, I think the MacBooks are huge on it too. But like, I can see this working really well with the handheld gaming systems, where you just want to like poop right into my monitor at my workstation, play with my peripherals. Oh, time to hit the bus, unplug and go kind of thing.
Yeah, the having everything run off of USB-C would be fantastic.
Chef's
Think about
kiss.
it.
Oh,
You have your handheld, I don't know, your Steam Deck or whatever. You have that plugged in USB-C to charge. You have that same cable. You bring it over. You plug it into your screen. Now you got your display.
because
Take
tech
that
should be
off.
easy.
Tech should be easy.
Tech should be
It's
plug and
not.
play.
It's not usually easy. Some things are, but a lot of things aren't. As Josh has come to experience with his camera today.
I wonder if that'll be a Thunderbolt situation. So
So
it says up to 120 gigabytes per second.
gigabits per second.
Okay, all right. Here's a impromptu ask Mitch. Byte and bit. What up
So
with that?
here's what we're gonna do today. We originally, because we're gonna go on a tangent right now. We originally were gonna talk about VPNs, as we talked about last week that we were gonna talk about VPNs. But since this has now come up, and I kind of anticipated this, we're gonna discuss gigabit versus gigabyte and so forth, because this is something a lot of people don't know about that you really need to take note of before you call your internet company screaming at them that they lied to you.
It's a understandable like confusion, right?
It is. It can be very
For the
easily
for the
confused
yeah.
for the average consumer. It's
Mhm.
not something you're going to realize or know or think about. You're going to
Mhm.
think gigabit is a short form of saying gigabyte or something like that. But bits and
Isn't
bytes are
like
different.
okay.
Every byte contains 8 bits. So
Oh my god.
whenever you see, you have to always pay attention to this carefully. And you'll see it written as well. See, if you see GBPS, but the B is small, that's bit.
If the B is
If the
big,
B
it's
is
byte,
big, it's byte.
and the byte is actually bigger.
The byte is bigger than the bit. So one byte contains 8 bits. So if you see, let's say you have gigabit internet, right? Oh, I can download a gigabyte a second. No, you can't. You can download 125 megabytes per second. So whenever you see bit, what you got to do is take that number and divide it by 8. So for example, with Thunderbolt 5, which this is still an awesome speed. This is actually legitimate, something to be excited about, in my opinion.
Okay.
120 gigabit bandwidth, that's 3 gigabytes a second.
Oh,
So
we're
that's
getting
legit fast.
yeah, we're getting pretty close to like, because isn't that like Linus is talking about with his like his big like WAN party thing is 10 gigabyte per second kind of
Or
for
sorry,
their streaming games off of their Steam cache.
so my math is way off.
Oh,
Sorry, I spent too long dealing with Josh's camera problems. I fried my brain.
oh.
120 divided by 8 isn't 3. That's nonsense. No, it's not 3 at all.
Oh God, we're both idiots.
Okay, so let's just clear this up. 120 gigabit per second is 15 gigabytes per second.
Oh, so that's legit.
Really fast.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're learning this together, guys.
so Thunderbolt 4 was up to 40 gigabits per second. So that's 5 gigabytes per second. So
Close
it's still
to your
fast.
3.
Still really fast. Faster than your internet transfer speed.
Okay.
The fastest that we have around here anyway, through like the pure fiber internet that you can currently
I have
get
1.5
in my
whatever
area.
that means.
So 1.5 is good. They now have 3 gigabit,
Oh,
which is great. That's pretty commonplace, but I have 1.5 because
it's
most
solid.
of the deals are on 1.5 and it works fine for me for now, but until I need to upgrade,
Who knows?
I'll stick
Maybe
with what I
start
got. But 3
live
gigabit per
streaming.
second is great.
Anything else? Any other features that we need to know about this?
So you're also going to be able to get 240 watt charging, which
Jeez.
is almost
Insane.
2.5 times what Thunderbolt 4 had. Thunderbolt 4 had 100 watt.
So what's that
charging.
like? Charge a laptop in like 15 minutes?
I'd have to look into the specific logistics of that.
Another very specific
I'm not
question
going to
from
make any
Josh.
more like strong calls on math right now after my 120 divided by 8 situation.
Oh my god, this is a nightmare.
So
Okay, but this is something to be excited about. This is a good thing.
yeah, and so another like comparison with these two is Thunderbolt 4 was able to, if you're going to run a display with it, it was able to do, I think, two displays, 4K 60 hertz, or one 8K monitor at 30 hertz.
Okay, that's a lot of
Uh,
information though.
so now with Thunderbolt 5, you can run three 4K monitors at 144 hertz each.
Oh,
More monitors and
okay,
over double the refresh rate. Or you can run one 8K monitor at 60 hertz.
okay,
So,
but why?
because we can.
That's that's insane.
Technology must keep getting better.
It must
Otherwise, what are we
progress
doing?
beyond our use for it.
To carry on talking about Thunderbolt 5, my current uses would be charging my phone faster. Along with that, faster
How,
data transfers between my
I guess.
drives. I don't know. You could transfer games. You could
I
just
guess
save things. You could transfer photos onto like an external drive. All kinds of
this is
stuff.
huge for creators, though, right?
Well, yeah. Think about it now, right? We have to wait if we're using something like Resolve to buffer and do all these things. And then to export that video, if we want to upload it to like an external drive, think about that time
Mm-hmm.
being cut into 1/3 of what it takes.
Yeah.
And we're not even using Thunderbolt 4. So it's going to cut it by like 10 times probably compared to what we're used to. If we went to Thunderbolt 5 from what we have now, forget about it. We'd have way too much time on our hands. So, exclusive games, very good for PlayStation, right? And of course, you need exclusive games to bring people to your platform because if they can play it on anything, then they're going to go where they can get everything. And even if
Mm.
Xbox wants this play anywhere and do all these things, if they can play all the Xbox games on PlayStation and all the PlayStation games on PlayStation, but only the Xbox games on Xbox, you're going to lose a lot of people over to that side. But it's
Yeah,
not
this is a
all
different
about,
conversation in 10 years.
yeah, it's not all about exclusives. And I think exclusives are going to be less and less of a situation
Oh, yeah.
because at the
Money.
end of the day, it's all business
Mm-hmm.
and these game developers want to make money. And they're
Yeah.
not going to make money by selling to half or let's say PlayStation is way ahead and let's just say PlayStation has 2/3 of that market, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, that's not a real statistic or anything, but let's just say that's how it was. There was 2/3 people had PlayStation, 1/3 people had Xbox, and people also had Nintendos, but that's a separate thing. So if 2/3 of people have PlayStation, hey, that's great for the developer that made a PlayStation exclusive, but they're still losing 33% of the market. Do you want to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
No. Why? It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit uh, the makers of Final Fantasy to not be able to sell it on Xbox. Really, it benefits PlayStation. That's it.
Yeah. And now you can play those on Steam, some of them, right?
Yeah.
Like I played Uncharted on my Steam Deck. There's Last of Us. I don't know if Tomb Raider was exclusive. I think so though. Was it? It was Naughty
Mm,
Dog. So I bet it was.
yeah. Tomb Raider's been on PC for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying the Spider-Mans, like all this stuff is Ratchet and Clank, even the Little Big Me. It's all coming to Steam.
Little
Now
Big
they'll make
Planet.
you wait for it.
Little Big Me.
Little Big Planet.
Josh has been listening to Foo
Will
Fighters
we
again.
talk about carry on reason? No. Yeah. So these are all coming to Steam.
Now, with the exclusives, right? That's great. You have exclusives and people are going to buy your console. But is the money in console sales? No,
It's
it's
all
not.
about the software. It's all about the games.
At the end of the day, whether Microsoft or PlayStation sells a console, they lose money.
Yeah.
So when people say that, oh, PlayStation is outselling Microsoft in consoles, that just means that PlayStation is losing more money on sales than Xbox.
Mm.
Even though they're selling more, they're losing on every sale.
Mm.
So you have to keep that in mind. It's not just they sold more, so they made more. No, they really didn't.
Mm.
Again, bring it back to these are both businesses. You have to think about that. And Xbox and Microsoft are actually smarter in that way when it comes to business. Because
Mm-hmm.
why am I going to really push to sell something that I lose money on?
Mm-hmm.
When,
Which I think a handheld for them makes it hard because you can already play this stuff on your phone. You could play it on a Fire Stick.
I think that the handheld could go well for Microsoft
Oh,
if
I
they
want it to happen.
if they integrate it really well so that you can also play your Steam games on it. If you can't play your Steam games
The,
on it, it'll be a tough sell.
these companies, they don't like to interconnect too much, just
But
on the edges.
the thing is, Microsoft already has that. If you get one of the like the ROG Ally, if you get the MSI Claw, the Legion Go, all these you can play Xbox and Steam games. So
Mm.
Xbox technically has that already.
Mm.
So all they need to do is make their software in a way that it's handheld friendly. It could be
Mm.
based on Windows. They could probably get away with it that way. And then you can play everything on your Xbox handheld,
That
other than maybe the
I'd buy
odd
one tomorrow.
PlayStation exclusive. But for most PC gamers, they would buy that handheld.
Okay, moving on to the next point, and we can be really quick on this one because I don't think it's important anymore in this generation. Uh, Immersive story-driven games. I think now with the amount of indie developers like that aren't exclusive, that this is becoming less and less of a stranglehold of the industry that they have.
Well, more and more we see the online live service games, which I'm not a fan of.
I hate that model.
They're they can be fun, but I always feel like it's empty. It's not a game. I don't know.
It's
I
a
can't.
race to the next season, and it's
Yeah,
like you can never
I
enjoy it
can't
for
get
what it
into it.
is.
Again, there is fun to be had, and if you're having fun with a live service game, fantastic. At the end of the
Mm.
day, playing games is about having fun.
Yeah, yeah, for
Playing
sure.
games is about having fun. If
So
you're having fun, good.
we're gonna go. We're gonna pass this subject because we don't think it's too much of a talking point. Superior hardware and accessories.
This is a little bit of a back and forth, and this also has a bit of based on your opinion situation
Mm-hmm.
because interestingly, there's been a lot of talk about this week. Xbox, the Series X, is more powerful than the PS5. It has more raw power, but many games play better on the PS5. They run better.
So is this that the cores versus threads? They have better threads.
So I'd have to look at and pull up the exact things, but teraflops, the big word teraflops now that
Oh,
everybody's all about. Xbox Series X has 12 teraflops. The PS5 has 10 point something
okay,
teraflops. So the Xbox technically has the ability to get better frame rates at higher resolution.
but aren't they capped anyway?
Well, it depends on your TV and your screen and all these different
Yeah.
things, right? There's a lot of other factors outside of that, but it has the ability to push that.
Mm.
But a lot of the new games we see anyway get released broken and with frame drops and don't even run at 60 frames per second,
Yeah.
right? But certain big games, they will run better on the PS5 than the Xbox, even though they could run better on the Xbox. There's a lot of depth to that conversation that I don't have all the answers for. But it's strange how that goes.
Yeah.
People will blame the Series S for the overall performance of Xbox, but that
Yeah, a
doesn't
lot
really
of
make
people
much
their
sense to
their
me.
take is it is kind of like pinning Xbox to the ground. It's not letting it do its thing. But I don't know. I have a Series S and I love the thing. But I'm not a console gamer. I'm on it every once in a while, and when I'm on it, it's a great time. Now, if I was a console gamer, I'd probably have the X.
Yeah, and another interesting thing about this generation is there's been very few games, okay, that
Mm.
are generation exclusives. People will say that the Series S is holding gaming back, but almost every game is still releasing on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah, they're not letting it die.
And no matter what, the Series S will outperform those consoles.
Yeah,
So it's not holding gaming back. It might hold it's caused certain games to release a little later on the Xbox for this generation
yeah.
because this and that. Oh, this feature isn't working properly. We have to figure it out. But it's
You,
not a deal breaker.
you know why I got the Series S. Sorry, it was a cheap way to get into Game Pass because Game Pass on PC was fun and all, but there's games on the console that you can't get on the PC. So I was like, I'm already paying like 16 or 19 bucks Canadian for this. I might as well have the full experience and have it in my living room.
Yeah.
So that's why I got it. All right. So now on the Xbox side of things, I'm going to cut you off in the interest of time. This is the big point. The Xboxes are backwards compatible. People are enjoying their 360 era. Now, the 360 era was a big era in gaming, and
Yep.
now people are appreciating and through nostalgia reliving their days.
Yeah. Xbox 360 was Microsoft's or Xbox's heyday. That was the generation they won. I
Mm.
had both. I got the Xbox 360 first because it came out first, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It came out first. Interesting story how I got the Xbox 360. My house got broken into
Hmm.
and my PS2 got stolen
Oh no,
along
the
with a bunch
one
of
your
my
mom
games.
bought for you last episode?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Yeah,
dang.
that's the very same one. So my PS2 along with all my games and all that got stolen. And with the insurance money that we got for all my stolen stuff, amongst the other things that got taken,
Mm.
I got the Xbox 360. And this was right when it came out. It wasn't the Elite. It wasn't after they had kind of perfected some other things. So I think there was the arcade, there was the silver, and there was the gold. So I got the silver edition.
Mm.
I pretty sure it was a 12 gig hard drive on the
Mm.
top,
Yeah,
the
like
the
and it
big
had a
piece on top.
removable
Yeah,
hard drive,
it was a
right?
removable hard drive. I think it was 12 gigs, and that was like whoa, because
Yeah.
the memory card on the PS5 was like 8 megabytes. So that was a big jump.
Not PS5, PS3 or
PS2, the
PS2. You
PS2
said
memory
PS5.
cards.
Yeah.
So that was a big jump up, and the Xbox 360 it was pretty cool. You know,
You know
that
what
was
I
the
think
first time I had
about
an Xbox.
you know what I think about Xbox 360? You know what I think? I think Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
Oh, bring those days back, man.
yeah, I had a lot of that.
Also, when I think of that era of the PS3 and Xbox 360, I think of, and I don't think it was on the fours, and I don't think it's on the current generations, is media servers. They
Mm.
had media servers back then, and like, not gonna, I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one, but I may have sailed the seven seas, and it was great. You could have all your files on your computer, and it would you give it the permission to go search the network, and you could just drop files into there, and it would just boom on your TV.
Yeah, one of the coolest things for me when I got the Xbox 360 is I was able to upload my songs onto it from a
Mm.
disc or from I think from my MP3 player or whatever. And while I was playing like a racing game,
Custom tracks.
I could have my own music instead of
Mm.
whatever they had come up with.
Garbage.
To me, that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I was able to customize the track on the
But
game.
they had that on the original too. I remember playing like an old NHL game. It must have been like NHL like I don't whatever like 6 or something. And I was listening to like Billy Talent's first CD that I ripped onto the original Xbox.
That was cool. See, I never had the original Xbox, so my discovery of that was with 360
Mm.
because I had PlayStation, I had PS1, PS2, PS2 got stolen, so I got Xbox 360 because that was a new hot thing.
You're all about the upgrading.
Oh yeah,
This
and
stolen story though, it sounds sus. It sounds like an inside job. Little
well, I mean,
fraud situation.
there's some theories to what happened, but we won't get into that for
Okay.
legal
Off camera?
purposes. But yeah, either way, my stuff got stolen, and that was the best we could do at the time. But oh man, one thing that really got me into liking Xbox at that time was the controller.
Yes.
The Xbox 360 controller was the perfect controller.
This
And
is the current controller, but it didn't change by much.
yeah, and to this day, the 360 it changed in the Xbox One, but it was still a great controller. And the Xbox One to the Series X days, I don't even know what they changed, but it's almost the same thing.
Very minute upgrades.
I
Like
can't remember
I think there's
what
texture. There's there's definitely like this wasn't on the original, right? A headphone jack?
it might have been. I don't
I don't know.
remember.
I don't even know. Well,
But yeah,
yeah.
this controller, fantastic.
Yeah.
And
It
I have
it's
a lot of
known
them.
it's known yeah, well, the one thing is if you drop it too hard on a certain angle, you're gonna need to get a new one.
Well,
But that's true with all things.
it's okay. But then they go on sale and I need to buy the new color, you know?
Oh yeah, you're all about the fat. Like, and these are like a fat. You can go to the website and actually customize it, right?
Yeah, I've been on that website so many times customizing the controllers. I haven't bought one, but I'm going to get one.
So you know how the game Starfield just went. Guess who day one bought a Starfield controller and didn't
See, I
like the
don't really
game?
care though. I don't care if the game was a flop or not, or I don't have time or whatever.
Does it look cool?
Controller, the controller still looks awesome, and it has rubberized grips in the back. This is not the Starfield controller, but it has the rubberized grips back here. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
Those are so good. And if you haven't tried that, I would say try it, but also it kind of ruins your other controllers for you. I try not to think about it because I have this over at the PC and then I have the Starfield controller on my Xbox so that it's nice and cushiony when I'm playing NHL. But awesome experience having those rubber hand grips. I didn't think I would even like them, but I love them. It feels very luxurious.
All right. So next
Comparing
talking.
that,
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Comparing that though, for Xbox versus PlayStation,
Well, I can't wait until like I do think the gaming handhelds are gonna keep on getting stronger, are gonna keep on getting more powerful. I can't wait till like you can charge it up in like 10, 15 minutes and you're good to go for another 3 hours.
yeah, fast charging times. You know who needs fast charging times? The PlayStation 5 controller.
Mm, I've heard they are a nightmare.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Okay, so next, AMD is releasing new processors, which is great.
Yeah.
But
you gotta innovate. What's wrong?
Some of these names,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. It's
Zero
nice,
people in marketing.
It's nice for one thing, okay? They're releasing more AM4 chips, okay? which works
Why?
with the same socket as the Ryzen 3000 and 5000 series. These are going to be 5000 series chips. These are old now. Okay,
Yeah.
they don't have DDR5. I could understand maybe last year when the new ones came out and they released one more. Okay, you can carry on for now, whatever.
Just let
But
it
now
die.
who's going to keep upgrading theirs? My motherboard is not even a good AM4 motherboard. So I'm not going to update. I'm not going to buy a
No.
new CPU for my motherboard. Some people might have the top of the line and maybe they'll be okay with that. But anyone that would have got like the X3Ds for this
Oh,
chip series,
they're good for the next 5 years.
they're good. They're not going to buy this.
Yeah.
The other thing, okay, is the names.
Okay.
I don't know why they
Okay.
did this.
All
This
right,
is a
hit me up.
nonsense name.
Why?
Okay.
What's the names about?
It's going to be the 5000 XT series. You know what else they have as XT? Their GPUs. So you know who that's going to confuse? Everybody.
That's like the Ford F50 truck, the Ford F50 car edition.
Right? That would be like Intel releasing the Intel Arc i5.
Well,
No,
like, listen, all these
don't do it.
companies need to work on their branding a little. Like, I listened to a podcast and they were talking about the Snapdragon chips. The Snapdragon chips start with like a bunch of letters and consonants and then end with a bunch of letters and consonants and vowels. You're like, just pick one. Like, there's no reason to have 2x blah blah blah. I don't have it in
Yeah.
front of me, but it's insane. Like, get a marketing team, get this sellable,
Yeah,
get this for people to get excited about.
make a name. I don't know why all these companies have such a hard time figuring out names.
How
Bringing
about
back a
the
quick little note to the
AMD
courses.
Viper Stinger or something like?
You know what's important to pick a name for? Anybody in IT or tech, and if you're making processors and GPUs, you should be above an entry level tech position in your knowledge and your thought process, okay? One of the first things that you learn if you have to maybe set up a server is pick a good naming scheme
Mm,
because it's going to be really difficult if you don't. if
yeah.
if your company's going to grow and you just say computer 1, no, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem pretty quick. Okay? You got to pick a name that's going to flow, that's going to make sense. If you're picking a computer name for this floor, this department, this whatever, you set up your naming scheme so that it's easy to find, it's easy to know where things are, it's easy to know what things are. So AMD decides, let's just name it the same as our GPUs because it will be in line with the fact that it's not a good idea to release more of these anyway because what's the point?
Yeah, that's not forward thinking.
No.
For a company that is trying to get one up on Nvidia, who's trying to like stay relevant even though Intel and Snapdragon are biting at its heels, you're not doing yourselves any favors.
No.
Ay, ay, ay. All right.
Horrible call on this naming scheme, AMD. Look, I like AMD. I have a great AMD processor or CPU in my computer right now that I'm using at this time.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
great.
Ryzen's are great. Yeah,
But what a like don't do this. Figure it out. Pick another letter at least. Don't add T to the end.
because
Don't add anything to this generation. Just
the
stop.
R for the CPUs is Ryzen, but the R for the GPUs, correct me if I'm wrong, that Radeon.
Yeah.
Pick another word with a different consonant.
Let's just make it
R
all
isn't even in the name of your company.
yeah.
It's
Let's
not
just make it all like this.
ADMR, AMDR.
R is for racing and
Nope.
performance.
Yep.
R and X. These are the letters of success that all these companies have to use.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that, Mitch. Not gonna lie.
Well, get your mind out of the gutter.
All right, so what do we got next?
Okay, so we have a bit of a different section here today. We have a discussion topic, and what we're going to do with the discussion topic here, we're going to go back and forth a little bit. We're not really going to be debating against each other, but we are considering starting a separate episodic show that is just debates in
What?
which Josh and I.
No, this is debate. I brought a knife. We're doing this.
Josh is ready.
I'm holding a box cutter.
I have a bottle cap.
I win. You lose.
And now it's gone. I lost. Okay, so
what's our debate about?
So currently today, we're going to have a little discussion about PlayStation versus Xbox. This is,
heated,
an intense topic.
You have the console wars. Right? Yeah.
You've got look at their show, look at this show. What are they doing with hardware? What are they not doing? Firing developer, all kinds of stuff. Okay, you can go on and on for days about PlayStation versus Xbox, and Nintendo gets in there as well, but they got their own thing going on. Yeah, PlayStation and Xbox can fight irrelevancy, and Nintendo will just keep doing their own thing off to the side, charging full price for their games after they've been out for like 14 years on 2 other consoles. But anyways,
hey, this isn't about Nintendo today. Hey, we got Zelda and Pokemon. What do you want? And every once in a while, we make a Mario Kart game.
I want to pay less than 80 Canadian dollars for a 14-year-old game, or for a game for the Wii U that nobody bought. Anyway, so PlayStation versus Xbox.
I have. I just did some really quick supplemental research. I'm just going to name 3 reasons for each console, all right? Reasons to go with the PlayStation: exclusive games. So keep this in mind. Exclusive games, immersive story-driven games, and superior hardware and accessories. We're talking the VR. We're talking the friggin' tablet thing that they got going on, the Portal, yeah. Now, for the Xbox, we have backwards compatibility. We also have that the gold subscribers keep their free 360 games forever. And we have Game Pass is basically Netflix of gaming. What say you?
So those are a lot of big points on either side that can fully be debated.
No, you don't have to hit everyone.
By one side to the other. So what was the first one about PlayStation again?
The exclusive games.
Okay. Exclusives is one thing, but depending on the kind of games you like and whatever, you know what else matters? The controller.
Yeah.
Think about it like, even though it's different, with a car, there's the exterior can look nice, but if the interior, the part you're actually seeing when you're driving, is terrible, you're not going to like it as much.
Yeah.
When you have a comfortable controller in your hand, the Xbox controller compared to the PS3 or the PS4 controller, to me, was always so much better, always so much more ergonomic.
I will fight you a little bit.
Well, you're going to lose.
No, this is a side knife fight. I believe the PS3 controller was better than the 360 controller.
No way.
Personally, the ergonomics of it, the ergonomics of it were perfect for my hand anyway, and the thumbsticks were great. Now, the PS4 controller is where they kind of lost me, and that's where. And then ever since then, the PS5 controller, I'm not crazy about either. But
the PS3 controller
since the PS3 has been my winner.
The PS3 controller was good. It was a solid controller, except you know where they lost me was on the triggers. Because the PS3 was not a proper trigger. It moved like a trigger, but it didn't have this kind of concave for your finger. It
Mm,
was flat, and you were always pushing against the edge of it. I might
mm.
even have one around here, but it's going to take me too long to find. I have a PS3 like right there, but the Xbox controllers, they always knew that your finger would be comfortable this way.
Mm.
PlayStation didn't figure that out until PS4. And even then, it still wasn't that great because the overall ergonomics of that controller, and PlayStation knows that, were not great. PS5, yes, much better, and a lot of people love the DualSense. And if you put some time in with the DualSense, yes, it is a comfortable controller. It's a very different way to hold it than the Xbox controller,
Battery life.
but the battery life is terrible. And people talk down about Xbox because, oh, they still have, double A batteries. I love having double A batteries in my controller. You know what I hate? Oh, my controller's dead. I can't play anything. I have like 10 minutes. Oh, whatever. You know what I can do with double A's? I can pop these out and pop new ones in and then never skip a beat. Best thing. Yeah, I
What am
don't
I
even use
holding?
rechargeables. I just
What?
buy them on sale for like 15 bucks
Oh man.
Canadian.
Uh, like don't get me wrong, the majority of mine controller usage is for my PC, but it's just easy having I got a outlet right there. Boom, boom, pop it in, pop it out, boom, back in there, and I never have to worry about going to Shoppers Drug Mart for some double A's.
Yeah,
That's
I
me.
just buy like the 24 pack and it lasts me for
Yeah,
the year.
yeah, you're a good consumer. Con- contr- Contributing to the GDP.
I mean, it might not be as good for the environment, but you know what?
That's a good point
Neither
actually. Yeah,
neither
I didn't
neither
think
is
of that.
junk mail, okay?
Yeah, and that's still a thing.
I don't use
Uh,
any of that. That's just
so
full garbage.
360 games forever. Yeah, like that's amazing that you can go back and play the games that you've already bought and you got them. Let's move on to the what I think this final nail in the coffin here is Game Pass is Netflix of gaming.
Yeah.
You're done. You could play this on your phone. Pretty sure in like 5 years in the future, you could play it on a like Casio calculator.
Yeah.
Like
It's it's
so
one of those things.
inclusive. Barrier to
It
entry is zero. You just get yourself a membership, and there's something in your house that can run it.
yeah. It's one of those things that it's definitely not perfect,
It's
but I
getting
mean,
better though.
but
It
what is
is.
what is perfect, right? Uh just watching recently actually Xbox Ready, fantastic channel by the way. Ray is awesome and always has the best up-to-date news on that. But if the Xbox live servers go down, depending on the console you're using, you can lose access to your games just because the server's down.
Mm,
So if you have, from what it seems like, if you just have one Xbox, it's your home console, whatever, and you have a game downloaded that isn't like an online only game, you'll still be able to play it offline. But if you have, say, you have a Series X and then maybe you have a Series S somewhere else in your house, or you have multiple people in your house and whatever, if it's not on your home console and you're trying to play a game while the Xbox Live server's down, you can't.
yeah.
Even if you have it downloaded and it's a single player game that you don't even need to really connect for, it's going to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
Little things like that with the digital world are
But that's
such a pain,
that's
but
the next phase of gaming is
it is.
getting
There's
in our
not really
way.
any escaping it, right? I mean, if you want something that's just simple and offline and it's just contained right there, then yeah, get a Nintendo Switch. You have your
Yeah.
cartridge and away you go and
Native.
that's it.
Everything's
But
native. Yeah.
I mean, people have accepted it with Netflix. If your internet goes down, you can't watch Netflix. You
Pretty.
can you can watch some of your old Blu-rays or DVDs if you still have something that can play them, but you can't watch Netflix.
Mm.
So it's unfortunately the way the world's going. It's a trade-off between convenience and inconvenience when things go wrong. But
That
nothing's
seems
perfect. So what's more worth it, right? The
convenience
the
or the
the
hassle.
90-95% of the time it doesn't matter, and you have this and then the odd thing goes wrong, or you don't have access. Let's say you didn't have Game Pass and you had to buy every single game, and you had to get up from the couch and walk over and change a disc every time. And what if you had to do every game on disc?
You know
You
what is
wouldn't
a
play
hassle
the same
back
amount of
in the
games. You wouldn't
day?
try the same amount of games. You wouldn't buy these games.
You know, as a hassle back in the day, what if your cat knocked your console, turned it off, and you were like 2 levels away from beating Sonic? Well, time to put another three hours in there, son. Like, gaming's always been fun, but has had some aspects of not convenient.
Yeah, and I find that a funny thing in the conversation of physical media is everybody talks about it like it lasts forever. No, it doesn't. Have you heard of a disc getting scratched?
Yeah.
What about having to blow into the cartridge for Nintendo, which they say you shouldn't do, it doesn't work or whatever. Yeah, sure. But
Worked every time.
discs get scratched, they get broken, they get lost.
Mm.
You know what doesn't get lost? Your cloud save.
Mm.
Most of the time. Again, nothing's perfect, and sure, something could go down at whatever, but the chances between the two, discs are not reliable to
Mm.
stay unless you are just like pristine, keep everything in perfect order all the time, everything's nice and clean and organized. Yeah, that's not going to be your average gamer with all these discs everywhere. No, they're going to be sitting out, they're going to sit there, and maybe the cat's going to go sit on it or walk on it, knock it over, a disc will get chipped, or it's and then what?
Mm.
Then your game is done. Even though you bought the disc doesn't work. Okay, well that's it. I actually had an issue with my Xbox 360. It was a crazy laser burn. So I bought Dirt 2 from EB Games, and I brought it home and I put it in. I heard this like
What?
I took it out, and close to the inside of the disc there was this circle that was burned in from the laser. I took it back to EB Games. I got the warranty on it. So I took it back because it wouldn't work after that.
Mm.
And they gave me a new one. But the warranty was you get one replacement. I know you can't warranty the replacement copy.
You
So
can't
if
double
that
stamp a
one,
triple stamp.
if that triple stamp, double stamp, Lloyd. But but yeah, so then if I took it home and my Xbox messed up that one, that was it. I was
Mm.
just out of game.
Out of game. Game
So
over. You
there's
lose.
never been a perfect. People talk about physical media like it was perfect and you can have it forever. No, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't have it forever. It's gonna get messed up or broken or something's gonna happen. No, it's
Yeah.
not invincible. Nothing is invincible, whether it's digital or physical.
Everything is finite.
Yeah,
So I think that concludes the Xbox versus PlayStation. That was a good discussion,
yeah,
and down the road we can do definitely tier lists or big debates about that.
yeah. So
Definitely, I
this,
think controller like per generation, and let's go back. Let's go back to friggin' NES,
yeah.
and yeah,
So
but
on a side note from this discussion topic, which I had a good time doing, to be honest.
mm,
A couple ideas we have from this. One is for Josh and I to do full on debates. So maybe that'll be maybe we'll flip a coin or like draw something during the podcast, and that week we'll have maybe a 15-minute video where we have just a full on debate, like an irrational debate, full support of whatever side that we've drawn. So let's say I had PlayStation, Josh had Xbox.
I'm going for
No,
the
no
throat.
reasonableness, just full fanboy. This is why this side is the best. Could be Xbox versus PlayStation, could be Intel versus Nvidia, all that kind of stuff. and just get heated and unreasonable,
We'll call it
I think
drunken brawl.
I think it could be a good time.
Yeah. All
So
right.
that is something on the horizon that we're figuring out, that we're working towards. And if we do a bunch of those kinds of videos, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll change up some pod format, and we'll make more space for some of those other kind of things, because we got to balance out the time. We've also discussed maybe doing some tier lists. It could be controllers, could be consoles, could be all kinds of different things like that. Yeah, a lot of people do tier lists, but we haven't done tier lists.
Yeah.
And you want to hear our stupid takes on previous generations, don't you?
They're
I
coming in
mean,
hot. They're
why not?
spicy. Like some might be mid, but I plan on being ridiculous. It's just who I am. You can't take that out. It's in the blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So that's something that's on the horizon. Hopefully you enjoyed this segment. We're going to get into a quick section now of our WRL category. So this is when Josh and I take 3 videos from the internet. They could be new, they could be old, they could be interesting, they could be stupid, whatever. We're going to see if this is a W or an L on whatever's happened in this video.
win or loss.
So this first one is going to be from Maca Games. And I'm looking like this for like 5 minutes at my other screen because that's what I got it pulled up on. This is Maca Games New Setup Part 2, Necessary
Yes.
Inventions.
Love this guy.
And here we go.
The Magic Mouse is Apple's worst designed product because of this one feature right here. But I'm going to invent a solution for it. You see, the issue is when the battery dies on this mouse, you have to flip it over and plug the lightning cable in. Now your mouse is completely useless until it has a full charge again. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace this charging cable. Goodbye, bulk, and hello, much slimmer form factor. And next, I found these metal balls in my design studio. And they actually reminded me of those balls that used to be in mice to make them work. So then I hopped into my computer so I could start designing a bracket that was going to house that new smaller cable and 2 of those little metal balls. And the final version was going to look a little bit something like this. So then I went over to my 3D printers and got those set up so they could print out each of the 2 different pieces of the bracket, and I grabbed them off the printers. They were looking good. Now I quickly put together all the different components and waited for it to dry until I had a final product that was looking like this, that perfectly fit onto the mouse, plus the metal balls gave it some great movement. The laser was close enough so it still properly worked, and now I can never say the Magic Mouse is Apple's worst designed product.
Metal balls always get me moving.
So,
Unnecessary
stupid
for
mouse.
sure.
Stupid
Yeah.
mouse. Why hasn't Apple fixed it yet?
What? Just like do that. Just
It's
right
like
there.
like
Right
any
there.
other spot
Like
along the edge.
you want to put a switch there? Yeah, put a switch there. But oh my, L still, not because of what he had to make, not because of the effort he had to do to make this 3D creation. L to Apple.
L to Apple, and
That's a lapple.
L to the fact that this would be required for this kind of situation. For Unnecessary Inventions, the creator, figure something out. Great.
He got content.
W on their part, but L on Apple's part, because this should not need to be invented. You should just put the charging port anywhere else. Everybody has commented on this. Figure it out, Apple. That concludes the W or L section. And we are going to end today by just kind of making note of some more of the creators that have inspired us, someone to take note of. Of course, check out the creators that we had in our W or L section today. Great content, even if they had an L, still entertaining content, enough for us to take the time for, enough that you should take the time for as well. We like to support any fellow creators for sure. One thing that I would like to mention is, since we had a big discussion today about Xbox and PlayStation, is to check out Ray on Xbox Ready and Jimmy on PS Ready. always the best, I would say, up-to-date news articles on anything happening with PlayStation and Xbox. Jimmy also does a Deck Ready channel, which is all about Steam Deck,
Yeah,
and he
very
gets in
thorough.
other handhelds as well.
Yeah.
Been watching these guys for a long time now and always enjoy their content. Big inspiration to me, and Josh as well has been starting to watch them as well.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different channels that we'll watch between the two of us, but we try to recommend to each other what we've been into, and
Oh yeah.
Xbox Ready
Yeah.
and PS Ready. I never miss a video. I gotta
Yeah.
say, I don't always agree with every take and all that, especially on Jimmy's channel. But Jimmy does his thing, and
He's true to
I got to give
himself.
Jimmy credit for he sticks to what he believes and what he does. So I don't miss any of his episodes because he knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They both pick great stories, great stuff. So definitely check out PS Ready, Xbox Ready, and Deck Ready for a lot of your gaming updates and up to date news. As we try to keep you up to date as well, it's always good to have multiple streams to keep your news updates. Josh, who do you got to shout out this week?
I would like to shout out someone infinitely smarter than the both of us, and that is Do-It-Yourself Perks. DEY Perks. This guy has made a invisible PC into a desk. This guy has made a PS5, which is about this big, into the length of a penny. This guy has done a water pond cooled PC. This guy doesn't stop thinking. He does his mobile like game. He's built his own laptop. Like there's nothing this guy can't do. And like you're not gonna get laughs, but you're gonna be thoroughly like intrigued. Like it's entertaining, but it's not entertaining like haha. It's entertaining like, well, how's he gonna get? Well, there's a problem here. How's he gonna do that? Nah, between 3D printing and all the other tools that this guy has, yeah, it's a good time. Check it out if you're a little nerdy about building stuff. It's a great time.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't checked out any of those videos, so I'm going to look into that myself this week. And we will be mentioning all of these creators, including those that we mentioned in the WRL section, down in the description below. So take a look at that. And that's pretty much it for us this week. So thank you for tuning in to the Broken Port podcast. Again, if you made it this far, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Helps us out a lot. And that's it for me this week. Josh?
Yeah, you know what? Just next week you bring a knife, so it's I'm not alone in my knife fight. Okay.
I'll be ready.
All right, we're gonna log off. Enjoy. Thanks for clicking.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Got some IKEA stuff in here along with some actual tech.
All right.
I think it's pretty cool. But anyway, let's bring up this share screen. So here we go. This might be loud.
Oh man, those curved monitors. OLED. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to go, so I'm going to be a contrarian. I may not necessarily believe this, but I'm going to go with L.
Yeah, what's your L take on this?
It's way too extravagant. Way like listen, if you can afford it and this is just a Tuesday afternoon for you, sure. But like the amount of cost for all that equipment, I bet you could have had a kid. Like, that's ridiculous. And then you're putting this online, and now I have to feel crappy about my thing. Now, a couple of things that I liked. I like those pegboards. I have those very pegboards. I'm touching one right now in my setup. Those are great pegboards. And there's definitely some IKEA hacks in there that are great. Love those curved monitors. But, like, that should be in a center where, like, you can rent it and the public can enjoy it and it would benefit mankind. That's how gargantuan that setup is. I hope you have a 5080 Ti on that. It's not even out.
So I have a mixed take on this.
Okay.
For different reasons than yours. So
sorry, that's gluttony.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
So a W for the cool stuff and whatever. But if this is going to be your gaming center, it's clear it's a desk. So it's clearly for one person.
Yeah.
Are you actually going to use that TV on the side? I would just connect my consoles into my just as large of a screen that I use my PC for.
You're actually at a disadvantage when you use too big of a screen, like competitively.
Yeah,
because you have too much to look at, too much to notice,
I don't
too much
think
to process.
This is a competitive setup, though.
No,
but I wouldn't use that screen on the other side. I would just keep it all in one, because what's the point? And on top of that, it's carpet in the room. Carpet is not the way to go for this kind of situation, because for one, you're going to have a lot more dust. Two, if you're planning to roll your chair from that one to that one,
you're going to have to cover it anyway.
That's going to be terrible. And then you're going to have that hard plastic cover thing on there that gets all yellow and gross and whatever.
I'm dealing with that right now.
Terrible situation.
Best I can do.
Josh's life.
I'm not allowed to renovate.
So, W on the coolness of the different items in there, but an L on the overall setup, I would say. I wouldn't do this setup myself.
No. All right, moving on. TikTok.
Okay, so next we're going with TikTok. All right, this is a part 2. I tried to look for part 1. I tried to look for part 3. I think it was just an overall disaster. I'm just going to give that as a preface to this video, okay? So here we go.
Completely unprepared.
Here we go.
My MacBook Pro.
Oh my gosh.
And lifting it up.
Oh.
Voila.
Is it going to work?
Of course it's going to work.
Turn on?
Now we're going to open it, power it on, and I want a
hydro dip
from you behind you. When you see that it's going to work.
Okay, you're going to
Okay.
turn on?
Yeah, hit the power button and see if it
Okay,
starts
here we go.
sparking.
It's not going to spark. What did I tell you?
It's
It's
not
starting up.
working.
It's starting up.
It doesn't work.
Hold on. It might be out
It's
of
not
battery.
working. No, you fried it.
No, I didn't fry it. You know how when you get a new computer, it might not have sufficient battery?
You killed it.
They come fully
You
charged.
killed the computer.
No. Sometimes they
Yeah.
don't. Not the company
You killed,
computers.
you
I just
killed
have to
it.
charge it.
Yeah, I think
You're
you
in
killed
trouble.
I'm not in trouble.
You're in trouble.
I just have to charge it, okay? You'll see. It'll work. It'll
All right, I've already seen enough.
It's really cool, huh? Look.
it. Yeah, that looks
All
nice
right,
though.
see? It's going to work. I'm going to charge it now.
Yeah, definitely
It's gonna
killed
work.
it.
Oh, don't charge it now.
Oh my God! Do not charge it. You go first.
So that is from Getty Show, a TikToker, and I'm sure that Getty is a nice person. But that was a full L.
Not even arguing with you. And you know why? Because the first thought should have been, D-brand anyone? $20 could have gotten you out of that situation.
Yeah. You could have done a lot of other things in this situation.
Oh my goodness, that is such an L.
And by the sounds of the video, this was a company computer.
Brand new. He said they come charged.
Yeah.
That was out of the box.
So here's the thing. when you have like an electronic that gets wet, you don't turn it on right away. No. Rice doesn't work. You can do it if you want to, and if you think it helps or whatever, then that's fine. But
Emotionally, it's going to help you.
mentally, you'll be like, "Hey, I'm doing something. I'm gonna fix this." At the end of the day, it's the fact that it's sitting and drying with the rice or without is what is gonna make it work, and that's fine. And if you think the rice helps it out, then do whatever you want to do. That's fine. And then you have some mac and rice, whatever you want. But when you put something in water that's electronic, it's not dip it, turn it on. That's how you kill it right away.
Silicon is very, like, as powerful as it is, it's very delicate. You cannot do that.
Yeah. You can disconnect the battery, you can fully discharge it, or you can just leave it to dry for a few days or longer, take a look, make sure everything's fully dry, and then try turning it on. Do not instantly turn it on and then instantly charge it. That is the way to kill any electronic.
Yeah, she was a few eggs short of an omelet.
So this is going to be our YouTube short clip. This is from